welcome to another
How is it that
edition
you suck the
of
life out of it
Whiskey and
then just
Work.
pop into it?
I'm
I
an
like watching
entertainer.
you slip into entertainer mode. I like watching you go from shut up. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Houston, and this is my television show.
You know,
Welcome to, these are my two sidekicks.
they are. It's Robert Kelsey.
At least you got her name right.
You know, I was just mentioning to Rob, too, a while ago that it seems like the only people I'm on camera with now are women named Kelsey. Is that a really common name?
You should be able to remember our names.
I do now, yes.
There
but is it?
there were 6 Kelseys in my graduating class.
And of what size?
Who can say? Who would know?
The class
There was just
or
a lot.
I mean,
Kelsey's?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it was, I don't know, like 180 maybe? That's
that's an
guess.
inordinate number of Kelseys.
Yeah,
considering
in
half
my
of those
senior
are
English
male.
class, I didn't take a single class, I don't think, where I was the only Kelsey in
Wow.
there. My senior English class, we had 3 Kelseys.
That's,
And in a class size of 22 people.
oh my goodness, that's funny. Okay, that was a total sidetrack.
Yeah, we
right
can
there.
cut all that out.
Here is what we are going to start doing for the next few episodes here on Whiskey at Work. And we've talked about doing this for a while because
Have we?
Well, have you been in the...
I'm
no,
just
you're
as
not,
curious as
you're not
everyone
checking-
watching.
you're
I
not
don't know what's happening
checking
either.
the emails. So no, Kelsey hasn't been talking about
You don't
this
you
as
don't
much.
spend as much time in the cat studio drinking and
Right.
talking about what we're going
That's
to
it.
do
You
next.
say that I don't check my email, but actually it's just that I don't spend all day with you two in the cat studio.
That's fair. It's true. That's totally fair. You know, there are obviously a ton of great bourbons and whiskeys on our planet, right?
None that Houston brings back.
You've got your big names, you've got your big guns. But what is kind of fun once we've started this whole little thing is to find these distilleries that aren't well known, to find some hidden gems, so to speak, I guess. And that's kind of what we're going to do here, hopefully, with this regional series that we're going to be doing with these whiskeys. Have you ever found one that it's not a big name, but you're like, you know, this is pretty good? You guys ever come across those or drink anything other than Crown and Jack, the both of you?
I don't just drink Crown.
Well, well, as for whiskeys, you do, don't you?
No, that's
Okay,
not true.
what's your other one then?
I drink Woodford. I drink
sure.
Sazerac.
Okay, they're the big names though. They're the big
Yeah.
distilleries.
Then
Right.
what about that one though? Not regional. The one we had in Texas.
The TX, which was
That
very
was the
good.
last one that I remember that I hadn't heard of before that I really enjoyed.
Okay, that's a
Besides,
good.
obviously, the banana whiskey that we had last week,
Oh,
which
so good.
was magic.
So good.
when you talk about the TX, how much did you guys have to drink before you decided that one was good?
Oh, there was a good number, I'm sure.
I
Wasn't
don't
there?
know why that's relevant.
Because I've tried it.
Spend a lot of time waiting to eat when you're down there at those events. So, but what we're trying to do now is go around the state of South Dakota. I mean, literally around the states that are around South Dakota, and find different distilleries and maybe some hidden gems that are out there. And the first one we're going to start with is this distillery from the great state of Minnesota. It's Viker Distillery. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Vikre. Viker. Would that sound right? Like Viking. Duh. It's Minnesota.
Skull.
You know, home of one of the greatest football teams. I can't even get through
Sports.
that. Thanks, Kelsey. Thanks for getting me out of that one.
Obviously, you found this one a while back.
Yes. This was one of my best friends from high school who I hadn't literally seen since the day we graduated. I hooked up with about 5 months ago. He was out visiting here in South Dakota. And he had been watching this little whiskey at work thing that we're doing.
So there you are.
Yeah, and he
Thank
brought
you for that one like and comment.
he brought
Appreciate you.
this whiskey out to us to try. It's from his hometown of Duluth, Minnesota, and the backstory on it is interesting. It's always fun to kind of delve into that to find, how it all began, I guess. So that's what we're drinking here right now.
Obviously, you're probably the one that did all the research on it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
You want me to? Okay,
I
good.
can't hardly
I was
wait.
gonna- I was
Can't
gonna-
hardly wait for you to talk some
I was
more.
going to start talking again. Anyway, this is a husband and wife team that started this distillery near Duluth. And what I love about this whiskey is that everything from the grain to the barrel to the water is all coming from the state of Minnesota.
They make the barrel there.
That's interesting.
Yes, exactly. The grains come
Wow.
within Everything but the barley, I believe, comes within a 50-mile radius of the distillery.
Well, the Scotch is being shipped over from
The
overseas.
Scotch, yeah, we'll have to talk about that here in a sec, about the blend of this. But the barley comes from, I think, Shakopee, which is like 2 hours of Shakopee, if you're from Minnesota, right? Is it Shakopee in the Norwegian dialect?
I
don't
knew
know.
a guy from Shakopee. He never said Shakopee once.
Okay, then we won't say Shakopee.
Thanks, Jim.
So it's all local. Like I say, the barrels, the water, it's Lake Superior water that's in this as well, and that's what makes it. What? That's what makes it.
Well, I don't know.
Go
I
ahead.
can't believe you're drinking it if it's out of Lake Superior.
either.
Well, there's a process, okay? I'm sure they clean it up. They don't take 2 buckets down to the lake.
Throw it in.
Scoop it in.
Hey, Emily, why don't you
That's right.
fetch some more water there out of Lake Superior?
Exactly. So, and it says on their website that they're more interested with blending of whiskey than the distilling. They think the blending is more important because that's where you get the taste and the consistency for what they do. And I thought that was kind of interesting too. I guess distilling, anybody can distill, right? I mean, it's easy.
Can anyone distill?
You can buy a still on Amazon. I'm
Sure.
imagining that about anybody can.
So,
I guess the question isn't can you, but should you?
right, that probably is a lot better. So I thought that was an interesting quote from them, that they put a lot of effort into the blending, which makes this thing so interesting that we're drinking right here.
Well, I noticed what I like on the front here. It says a meticulous mixture. I enjoy that. I like
Meticulous.
That. It's a meticulous mixture of bourbon, rye, and Scotch.
You can use that for your next band name too. The
Meticulous
meticulous mixtures.
Mixtures.
Yeah, I think it's perfect.
Casey and the Meticulous Mixtures. That's our band.
But it
I
is
can be meticulous.
this
Boy, can ya.
this is a blend of
He's got to be mixture.
of bourbon and Scotch, which is I've never seen anything like that before. I've never seen Scotch blended with a bourbon or any other whiskey.
Me either.
Frankly, and then they throw in rye as well.
High West has one that's a bourbon rye Scotch. They're campfire.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, they're not distilling all that. I mean, the
Right.
Scotch is being shipped in, and the
sure.
bourbon is coming from MGP. But they are doing their own rye, I believe.
What do you guys think? You can be honest. It's okay.
It's one of the better things
they
to come
certainly
out of
did
Minnesota.
Not pay us to do this.
outside of I-90.
That's true.
Oh, ouch, ouch. that's a bit offsides. Okay, just a bit offside. I know you're making a Vikings joke in that undertone there. I get it.
Minnesota in general.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. We don't have a lot of followers there. I can be reprimanded
Well, we
later.
won't now for sure. I love the state of Minnesota, by the way. It is my favorite state outside of this one. The Twin Cities are and I'm serious, they're my favorite place to be. Love the Twin Cities more than anything. I have a blast there every time I go. Mostly at the Mall of America. Spend a lot of time there.
What?
Love being there.
see?
Oh, I love it.
This is why he
Love
likes
it.
flavored whiskey.
Love it.
The
'cause
one
it's
guy
so
in the country that wants
fun.
to go to the
There's
mall.
so much fun stuff to
Oh
do
my God!
there.
You go to the cities and you go to the Mall of America.
I go to
That's
Twins
your-
games. I go to the Mall
Yeah,
of America.
Twins games, sure.
And then
but how
I-
about just downtown? What are you
I-
doing at the Mall of America?
Well, I still have a relatively small child, so we like to spend time.
Do you go to what is it called? Camp Snoopy? Is that what
Not
is it
some.
so-
It's not Camp Snoopy.
Okay,
Lego
cool.
World.
So
No.
what does he enjoy?
Why did they get rid
there?
of Camp
'Cause
Snoopy?
I'm
This
not
is
believing
really
you
going
that
off
this
the
is
rails.
for him.
Right now, what he
But
enjoys
isn't
there
that,
is
that's
just
the thing at Mall of America.
it's the
Well, I know.
amusement park
Snoopy
on the
is a
inside.
Minnesota thing. With
Right, but it's
No,
not Camp
Camp
Snoopy
Snoopy.
anymore.
I know.
It's
why?
now-
It was when I went
Right.
there. It was called Camp Snoopy, and it was at the Mall of America, and that was the only redeeming quality.
We're spending way too much time on the Mall of America.
Oh,
Okay?
you're the one that
You
said it
brought
was
it
your
up.
favorite thing.
It
and
is
that's
a favorite
bizarre.
thing to do, and I put myself out there, Kelsey. All right, I'm not
Do
afraid
ya?
to.
You
I'm not
travel and you go to
no,
malls?
I'm not afraid to let everybody know that I
And
love
donut shops.
I love malls and donut shops.
Who doesn't love donut shops?
You know what?
Nobody as much as him. Oh, Jesus. You
I
map
like
out
this,
his trip.
Honestly, you're not a huge fan. What about you, Kelsey?
Of donuts?
No,
Oh, of it.
whiskey. Wow.
Yeah, this is not for me.
Okay.
I don't have any real strong feelings,
Mm-hmm.
but I think maybe the mixture is not for me. I think
Sure.
maybe I'd like to keep those things separate.
And that's
It's
totally
interesting.
understandable.
The packaging is great. I love the brand story.
Yeah.
You're kind of a rye drinker, though, aren't you?
But I am a little bit.
But not a mixed with other whiskeys
yeah,
rye. Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not really doing it for me.
All right. Well,
I actually kind of like it since you just brushed over me and assumed that I hated it.
Well, when I first asked, there
You
was
said
about a
something
7-second
disparaging.
pause. Your mouth. So
I was,
And then you made that sound that you make right before you say something disparaging.
at all,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is usually what.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Perfect.
I think it's nice. There's not a lot of. I guess I don't think it's overly complex. It's not overly powerful. It's obviously not blended with a Scotch that you like. You know, it's a nice, easy drinking Scotch. The rye you can taste. I'm not a huge fan of ryes, but this one's okay. And obviously it's got bourbon in it, so.
And maybe maybe that plays into the fact that they do spend a lot of time on the blend. Maybe that is super important to them, and they've blended it well enough to where it's unique and it's pretty easy to drink.
Do you know off the top of your head? They have other vodkas and whatever. Do they have
They do
other
gin and
types
vodka.
of whiskey?
Yes, they do. They do have one that's called Sugar Bush. Is that the one, I believe? Don't laugh.
Sorry.
Sugar Bush.
We're adults in the room.
You-
But it's
You've piqued my interest.
It looked interesting as well,
Diversity.
but I don't remember all the details on it. But yes, they do have a full lineup of different drinks. So
I mean, it would be interesting to
Yeah.
try something else that has just a little more,
you want a little
Body.
more, sure,
Yeah.
exactly.
a little more,
Totally
Yeah.
understand.
a little more punch in the mouth.
All right. Well,
Agree with that.
if you find yourself in Duluth, it's definitely a distillery worth stopping by because it's a local, 100% local business for the state of Minnesota.
That's super cool.
That
it
is
is.
cool.
Yep.
'Cause a lot of places can't say that.
Exactly. So check it out if you're in Duluth, Minnesota. And Jeff, thank you so much for bringing me a bottle of this and allowing us to talk about it. That was super cool of you.
I was
Okay.
actually going to call him Jeff, and I had no idea what his name was.
That's it. Yep, you got it. Anyway,
Did you say it earlier?
Somebody
Was it
like
just in
this,
my head?
somebody like a guy like Jeff would bring you something like this, right? Isn't this kind of
It looks
Jeff
like a
kind
Jeff kind of thing.
Don't you think?
Does it?
I don't know.
Well,
Sure.
okay, maybe not.
What's
but
this
it
cool
was.
thing on the top?
His name was Jeff. Anyway, we will do. I think we're going to try to get a Montana one next week, right?
We have a couple Montana
Okay.
ones in the stable.
Okay, perfect. So we'll do that then next week.
What else do we got? I know there's a South Dakota brewery down in the southeast corner
Okay.
of the state.
And we know of one from North Dakota that we're trying to get.
We're trying to fetch.
And Nebraska and Wyoming will be all other too. So if you guys
been
know of
doing
any of
this.
these distilleries in the States, Nebraska, Wyoming, some good ones, please let us know in the comments because we'll track it down and get some, okay?
And then I could be in the loop and in the
We have-
discussion. So please
she's,
feel free.
She's in the emails. She's
Are
in the
no
emails.
emails.
But she doesn't respond
These
to
two
emails.
sit in the cat studio and drink whiskey all afternoon and
Not
then
all
say that it was
afternoon.
an email.
Dean, that is not true. Some of the afternoon.
No, Dean, it is true.
Frequently.
Large portion of the afternoon.
Several days a week, but not all afternoon.
so-
Small parts of a lot of days.
Thank you.
Moderate parts of all the days of the week.
Thank you for watching this one totally get away from us again, okay?
You are just
We're doing our best.
totally trying to cut us off. Maybe we have more important stuff to say.
Well,
Do
I know.
we?
I know.
I
Kelsey's
don't know.
got to
I'm
get
just
out of here.
saying.
She's got a birthday party to go to, so I don't want to.
My mom's birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Kelsey's mom.
Yesterday.
Her name's Tony, and it was yesterday.
Yeah, but still.
She's a January birthday too, huh?
She is her
God,
birthday.
it's so
January.
awesome that I
Be
like
a couple
her
of
now,
days
even more
after
so.
this comes out.
Yeah.
We
Happy
took
birthday
her,
anyway.
We did birthday lunch yesterday.
Okay.
And we went and we had cocktails that
Yeah.
afternoon. And
you're giving us a hard time.
Well, it was my mother's birthday. And
whiskey
so
at work day.
we went and the server carded her. And I'm like, oh, that's fun. You're still young and hot getting carded. And then the server says, well, we have to card everybody. And then she goes to order my dad orders, and the server doesn't card my father, which I thought was hilarious because he's younger than my mom. And I thought that was all so funny right up until she didn't card me.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't funny at all.
Well, thank you again for watching this episode. And again, if you have any comments or suggestions for some good local distilleries that we could find some whiskeys from, please let us know in the comments, okay? And where can we be found elsewhere?
You can find us at Whiskey at Work Whiskey Without the E on Instagram, Whiskey with the E on Facebook. Please like, comment, share, follow us.
Thank you for watching.
So long.